It was well over a year ago when I first saw a slow-moving caravan in Liurnia. Inside said caravan was the Carian Knight Sword. I proceeded to use it through the rest of Rey Lucaria and the rest of Ranni's questline. Unfortunately, it didn't register through my first playthrough mind that all of these enemies had magical resistance, and I was dealing a lot of magical damage. Now, after 80 playthroughs of the game, coming back to this weapon realized all the fun I was missing out on. The first thing to note about this weapon is its pretty unique R2 attack. Fully charged R2 attacks hold the sword right in front of you, making you able to block physical attacks. As someone that does almost exclusively PvE, I'm not sure of a situation this will be incredibly useful in, when you could just attack the enemy instead, but nonetheless, it's a cool feature of the weapon. The main reason why we're picking this sword up is the Ash of War, Carian Grandeur. This Ash has 3 separate chargeable states, where you charge up a magical greatsword above your head and swing it straight down at your enemy. With a pretty hefty 26 FP cost, regardless of the charge state, you're going to want a bit of mind in your build. So I would run with at least 20. Along with dealing tons of magical damage, this Ash of War is also amazing at staggering enemies. NPC enemies such as Gideon can be completely cheesed with this, and I absolutely do not regret it because I despise that fight so much. Even bigger enemies like Loretta can be staggered with the uncharged Ash of War. On top of the staggering, it also does 25 to 30 poise damage, depending on how charged the Ash of War is. This combined with the fast straight sword moveset makes it pretty easy to keep boss poise low, and even on this max New Game Plus cycle, I was able to poise break quite a few of them. For talismans, we absolutely want to run the Shard of Alexander to give us that 15% damage increase. The Godfrey icon is also a great choice as it will boost our fully charged Ash of War, but with how fast a lot of the bosses in this game are, you may only want to equip it for certain fights, because the vast majority of the time you're only going to charge your Ash of War 1/3 or 2/3 of the way. If you look at the scaling ratings on this sword, definitely seems like strength and dex is a better investment, but we are absolutely going to go with intelligence. On my first playthrough, I used tons of spells because using spells with a Carian Knight sword is very fitting. Pairing this with the Carian Knight set and the Carian Regal Scepter will give you an amazing look, but mostly because the Ash of War Carian Grandeur purely scales off intelligence. Since we will be using this Ash of War quite a lot, I definitely recommend going all in on this stat. While I did really enjoy my time with this weapon, I do have to admit the broadsword with Square Off would just be better. It has pretty much the same moveset, and while it doesn't have that blocking R2 attack, Square Off kind of does the job of Carian Grandeur, but a little bit better. Sure, Carian Grandeur may have a bit of range on Square Off, but the increased poise damage and lesser FP cost of Square Off makes it a better option in almost every case. Well, unless you want to have the look of a magical greatsword coming out of your weapon, because that's pretty cool. Cool, unlike my physics lecture freshman year, which would drag on for well over 90 minutes in a massive, unair-conditioned auditorium. Loved that.